Hi, good morning, grade 9 Virginians. Today we're going to discuss another topic in quadratic equation. So listen carefully because I'm going to discuss the essential parts of this topic. So let's start now. Okay, let us discuss the nature of the roots of quadratic equations. Okay, so in this case, we're going to discuss the discriminant. What is a discriminant? Actually, a discriminant is part of a quadratic formula. If you still remember, the quadratic formula contains this in the radical, inside the radical sign of the quadratic formula. The discriminant tells us what types of the solution or what types of the roots does a quadratic equation have. So by getting the discriminant, we cannot actually solve the equation continuously using the quadratic formula. But through discriminant, we can identify what types of roots does each quadratic equation have. So let's start. Now, let's say in number 1, we have the equation x squared minus 5x minus 8. So the first thing to do is to get the value of a, b, and c. So a is 1, b is negative 5, and c is negative 8. Now, we're going to pattern these values to the discriminant. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So that's it. So the value of b is negative 5. Negative 5 square minus 4. A is 1. And c is negative 8. So that is, this is 25. And this is negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times 2 is, times 8 rather, is positive 32. So 32. So the value is 57. Now, so the value is positive 57. So we're going to identify these types of 3 classification of discriminant. So I think this one will fall here on class 1, wherein the discriminant is greater than 0. The d is greater than 0. So therefore, what will be the types of roots we have? So the type of roots we have is real, tapos unequal, and unequal, and since it's not a perfect square, so it is rational. So that's number 1. Let's go now to number 2. So in number 2, we have the equation x squared minus 9. X squared minus 9. So this one. X squared minus 9. So we get first the value of a, b, and c. The value of a here is 1. The value of b is 0. And the value of c is negative 9. Now let's solve through discriminant. Our b is 0. 0 squared minus 4. Our a is 1 and our c is negative 9. So this is 0 minus this is 36. 36, so plus 36, negative tsaka negative. So this is 36. Now, where it belongs? So it belongs here, again in the first type, wherein the discriminant is greater than 0. So let us classify or let us identify the nature of the roots. This is real. This is unequal. Since it is a perfect square, 36 is the perfect square, this is rational. That's rational. Okay, so let's go now on the next example. Okay, let's go now in the next example in number 3. In number 3, we have the equation x squared plus x plus 1. X squared plus x plus 1. So look at the value of a. A is 1, b is 1, and c is 1. So ito yan ha. Now, let's solve the discriminant. B squared is 1 squared minus 4 times A and times C. So this is 1 minus 4. So this is negative 3. So it falls under class 2, which is the discriminant is less than 0 because it's negative 3. So what will be the types of the roots? This is non-real, and imaginary. Because there is no such thing as square root, so like this one, negative 3, there's no such thing as negative radicand if it is a square root. So therefore, it is imaginary. And that's all. On to our next topic, which is the sum and product of the roots of quadratic equation. So the aim of this topic is to get the quadratic equation, is to formulate or to give the quadratic equation given its roots. So remember, so we're going to get first the sum. The sum will be the, remember the sum is the middle term of the quadratic equation and the product is the last term of the quadratic equation. So all we have to do, let's say for number 1, we're going to try to solve this equation for number 1. The roots is 5 and 2. That's the roots. So you're going to create 2 factors here. Is equal to 0. Put x here and x here. Then if it is 5 here, this could be negative 5 here. And this could be negative 2 here. So that is. And then do the FOIL method. This is x squared. This is the outer term is negative 2x. The inner term is negative 5x. And the last term is positive 10. So this is x squared minus 7x, then plus 10. So that is. So the equation for these roots is x squared minus 7x plus 10 is equals to 0. That means that this equation contains these roots. Okay. So what did you notice? You notice that the middle term is 5 plus 2, which is 7. Then find the additive inverse, which is mixed negative. Then 5 times 2, which is last term. So that was I'm telling you all about earlier. The middle term is in the reverse or the additive inverse of the 2 roots. And the last term should be the product of 2 roots. Okay. So let us now find. Can we find the equation here without solving? So x squared. Yan, x squared. So negative 3 plus 7. That is 4. So the additive inverse of 4 is negative 4. Negative 4x. That is negative 4x. Now, multiply this one. Negative 3 times 7. And that is negative 21. Equals to 0. So for the whole numbers, that's so easy to solve for the whole numbers because as I said earlier, we get only the negative inverse or we add and then get the negative inverse of the middle term, and then we simply multiply the 2 roots to get the last term. Now what about for this one, for fractional roots? So let's say 1/2, and then 3/4. So we put again here 2 factors. So x negative 1/2, then x negative 3/4. Okay, okay, meron dito ha. So for you not to solve fraction into a fraction, you move 2 here. So 2x minus 1. Then move 4 here, that's 4x minus 3. And then do the FOIL method. We have here 8x squared. 8x squared. Then this is negative 4x. This is negative 6x. last term could be positive, so that's plus 3. So this is 8x squared. 8x squared minus 10x plus 3 is equals to 0. So that could be your equation. So this is 8x squared. 8x squared minus 10x plus 3 is equals to 0. So that is. Okay, now let's go now to the next example. The roots are square root of 2 and negative 2. So this one. Okay. Can we put 2 factors again for that? Or simply we can add, no? We can add. Okay, so wag na kasi mas. Pero we try to solve using the equation na. Using the technique that I had. So it's x squared. X squared yan. So 2 square root of 2 minus square root of 2. So that is 0. And the 0, so that's a type of negative number. 0 na yun. So therefore, wala kang middle term. So, square root of 2 times square root of 2, or square root of 2 times negative square root of 2, that is negative 2. So that will be your equation. So let us solve here if you're going to arrive at the same solution. So x minus square root of 2 and x plus square root of 2. So this is, napunan nyo, that is sum and difference of 2 terms. So if solving the sum and difference of 2 terms, to find the square of the first term, x squared, then minus, get the square of the second term. Ganyan yan, di ba? That's the sum and difference of 2 squares. This is x squared, and square root of 2, that is minus 2. So we arrive on the same solution, or the same answer.